Now, more trouble at the border. The Washington Times has a report about a smuggling network guiding illegal immigrants from terror hotbeds to and over the U.S. border. Peter Brookes says this is proof our enemies certainly know that border is quite vulnerable, right, Peter?
Yeah, obviously, if the report is true, it's very, very troubling. The idea that people can cross the American border, the southern border, or even the Canadian border and get into the United States and potentially perpetrate terrorist acts is obviously very troubling and something that Congress really needs to dig into.
Well, a couple of things. I mean, number one is some of it's technology-based, where you want to see, and we can talk about this in a second, who's on a versus who isn't. Why aren't we able to track these people better? But from kind of the pure logistical point of view, obviously in the campaign, Donald Trump goes out every day and says we should build a wall, build the wall. Does a story like this, further that argument? What do you think?
Well, that's a political question. I'm a national security expert, but my concern is that the border protection folks have the technology that they need: drones, cameras, the sensors that we enforce the laws, the immigration laws that are already on the books to discourage illegal immigration and also international cooperation.
Right.
But I would also point out that besides this concern that you could have terrorists coming across the border, most of our terrorist plots or attacks since 9/11, I think that's about 74 or 75 out of about 85, have been homegrown. So
yeah.
we're taking the terrorist threat comes from a lot of different vectors.
Definitely a fair and a good point. Not to belabor that too much, but I know, as you say, it's a political question. But it is, to be fair, to Trump's argument at least, would be a national security question. In other words, he would be saying we're a more secure nation with this better physical wall, and you're saying that's not necessarily the issue. It sounds like.
Well, however you do it, whether
right.
it's a wall, whether it's drones, technology, better international cooperation, enforcing the laws, the issue here is that my sense is that from a national security standpoint, this could be a way that terrorist organizations try to get into the United States. But I don't want people just to focus on that. I want them to let them know that a lot of these that we've seen so far since 9/11 have actually been homegrown. So radicalization over the Internet, recruiting over the Internet, but we're definitely in the crosshairs of these terrorist organizations overseas.
You're absolutely right about all of that, Peter. Thanks. Always good to see you. Peter Brookes with us today from